the health bar is extremely small compared to the action that is going on the screen. It's very important. You need to know your health. Crimson Desert is this really ambitious action RPG being made by Pearl Abyss. I'm Lucas Olivieri, co-founder, CEO, and creative director at Loreworx, a gaming startup. And this is a series where I analyze upcoming games from both a business and a design perspective and propose changes in hopes that a dev might watch this and implement them. This one might sound a little negative, but in reality, I'm pretty excited about this game. I just couldn't help but redesign some of the interface, especially the inventory screen. Let's get started. You'll see. All right, cool.
But also, why?
Dude is just chilling there.
Dares to covet my hoard.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Damn.
I mean, so here's my first thing. This is cool. So you have all these particles that are, it looks like it's snow from the ground, which is awesome, right? So you see a lot of like environmental effects and stuff like that. However, there's also a lot of particle effects from his sword and stuff, and I don't think that's necessary. See that? Like, it's a lot of sparks. And then here's the other problem. If you look at the health bar on the left, the bottom left, it is so small. And I love when the interface is very unintrusive and you can just, it's really the entire game is being shown. But in this case, the health bar is extremely small compared to the action that is going on the screen. It's very important. You need to know your health. Okay, let's redesign this HUD. The action gameplay is very fast-paced, sparkly, and hectic. And most of it is concentrated in the middle of the screen. That means you'll be looking at the middle of the screen during the entire fight. The health bar is the most important element of this HUD. Yet, there are several issues with this one. 1, it is razor thin. 2, it is tucked away in the bottom left corner away from your peripheral vision. 3, it has these confusing black corners. When your health is full, you think it isn't.
Sneaky little Loreworx, wicked, tricksy, false.
The game then resorts to using an excessive, gigantic hit indicator with chromatic aberration as a way of letting you know that you just took damage. It serves as a cue for you to check your health bar. Normally, I don't like overdramatic hit indicators like this one, but this game, in its current state, really needs it. Let's fix these issues by redesigning the health bar. There. Now it's long and thicker, has no weird dead corner zones, and most importantly, it's now useful because it's in your field of vision. You can see your health without taking your eyes off the action. I tried to keep the interface's weathered art style here. And while we're at it, let's also give this minimap some pop. Same for the white text on top of the minimap. They already have a black outer glow on it, but it's not enough for this snowy background. You should always check for readability during gameplay on the worst possible backgrounds, because if it's readable here, it'll be even more readable everywhere else. The last thing I'm adding is a quick heal button. The player is opening his wheel menu a lot during these fights to heal by eating some meat on toast or whatever. Wheel menus stop the action. This one literally pauses the game. With this new button, the player can heal on the fly with a button press. It also has 2 counters, the actual number and a visual indicator in the same style as this leaf icon. That way, you're doubly warned when you're running low on healing supplies. A lot of games like showing the keybind on these, but I don't like cluttering the game screen with those. You can teach players the keybind with a tutorial pop-up and have it always show up in the wheel menu screen after. With these changes, we can adjust the hit indicator so it's not so dramatic. Oh, and I also made this diamond thing pop a little more. I still have no damn clue what it does. All I know is it was really hard to see. They did a mid-combat cutscene, so you lose, when this starts, you're gonna lose control of your character, the UI is gonna fade away and they do this letterbox thing. It's not going to be more immersive for me as a player if you go, hey, I'm gonna go letterbox now because it's gonna be a cutscene, wink, wink. It's gonna be a lot better for me as a player if you just fade out the interface, don't do the letterbox bars, and just fade it back in. It's different while it's in dialogue, but in combat, I think it's more immersive if you just fade out the interface. The boss design is pretty cool. He has like a second, ooh, okay, archery. Why though? It seems like it's less effective. I love how the environment, the snow is being kicked up. Love that. What was the text that showed up? Rusty, oh, it's something on the floor to loot. Let me see what that is. I want to see that wheel. Meat on toast? Are you gonna eat meat on toast now? Mid-fight? I guess it's better than using a health potion. This is one of those games that this guy is just gonna die at the very end from a heart attack, isn't it? Because he's been fighting for half an hour. But he doesn't feel it. I mean, it's cool. Like the moves are, oh, this is awesome. Oh, that was awesome. That was awesome. Like now there's a reason to have a bow. To do that move. Oh, he doesn't die from a heart attack. Okay, at least they do this. And that's how he dies. Fernando doesn't like this part. He thinks this little magic effect here is too tech for this game. It's too Assassin's Creed.
That's sterile. That's the part of our Assassin's Creed that usually you don't like.
That is true. I hate going back into the freaking Animus or whatever it's called.
Or getting into the different dimension with Asmond or something.
Yeah.
Always terrible.
Which is why the new Assassin's Creed games don't have any of that stuff anymore.
But why not character creator, you know?
I know. I much prefer to have character creator in my RPGs.
A veritable crown of jewels fit for a queen.
This guy's voice sounds like Geralt's voice. Not this guy.
Yeah, we have Dandelion already.
That's true. This is Dandelion.
Shades of cerulean.
This is pretty decent voice acting. Okay, so this is pretty cool. It's cool that from a business perspective and a marketing perspective, it's cool that you're generating hype for your game at Gamescom by showing boss battles. That's awesome. My issue with this particular boss battle is that different doesn't always mean better. This boss is awesome because it's very, very different. But the gameplay itself here is really kind of below average. Like you're thinking you're gonna fight this amazing Blastoise Pokemon, but really, well, as we'll see, the combat gameplay itself is very lackluster. Getting up on his back and then stabbing the weak points. This is cool, though. Is this Spider-Man now? What the hell is that? This is so cool. Being this, I don't know, Raven? Crow? This right here is already better than the Crow movie. It's pretty decent voice acting.
He's here to take the spirit's children.
Is that an orc?
Kill him quick.
Yeah.
Alright, so now you're fighting just your regular average characters.
Oh, that's WWE.
That is pretty deep. That's cool. Knowledge acquired, brigands. Is there a bestiary? And this is, out of the 4 boss videos and the 4 boss battles, this is the best. And it reminds me of the werewolf battle in Black Myth Wukong that also generated a lot of hype. Very similar technical qualities too. If you look at his fur is moving like crazy. The environment is so many particles from the environment. It's really, really awesome. This is the standout. Like whenever he jumps, oh my god, man. Like that, the snow being kicked up, so cool. I would have just released this fight and then did like a little teaser with the other bosses, because this is just all the hype you need right here. Stick around to the end of the video and I'll show you what I mean. The snow on his armor is awesome. He went under his legs. Oh, that's cool. God, these bars, man. There's no need. All right. So I wanted to talk about this. All right, let's look at this inventory screen here and the inventory system. I am very passionate about UI design, and I am very passionate about hating inventory management. So the UI in this game is actually pretty cool. I like it. It's sleek, it's elegant. They have an actual, it looks like a custom font that has kind of like a Viking style that is really cool. Now, what I would say about this inventory screen is there is a lot of unused space right in the middle of the screen. If you're not gonna use this middle of the screen to have like a character model here, then I think you should be using it for something. So let's redesign this screen a little bit. Like I said, inadequate use of space is the main issue here, and it's hurting user experience. Let's fix this. In what is a tiny example of form over function in UI design, the equipment tiles on the left side are smaller than the inventory tiles on the right. They're smaller because the designer wanted the panel to line up with this tiny vertical line splitting the character stats. We have to make these tiny decisions all the time, but I personally don't quite agree with this one. The loss in UX outweighs the gain in aesthetics. So I increased the size of the equipment panel so that the tiles match the inventory tiles. This has the added effect of covering up more of that empty space in the middle of the screen. And speaking of inventory, this is a 4x8 grid totaling 32 tiles, but as you can see here, the game uses a slot system as inventory management, where you have 40 total slots to fill with whatever you want, even if it's 40 cruise ships. That's cool and all, but to make management more annoying, they limit stack sizes, and we end up with 6 stacks of meat on toast. If you change this to a carry weight system and stop limiting my stack size, I only have to manage a single stack, and I'll personally hate you less. There's also plenty of screen space to show the last 8 inventory tiles. I'll just move this buy 4, sell 4 thing out of the way, and voila, there's no need for a scroll bar now. Let's talk about this buy 4 thing though. When designing a game's UI, you have to always be thinking about localization. Other languages are a goddamn nightmare. Buy 4 and sell 4 translate to this in Portuguese. That's a much longer text string. And that's why I always try to use icons for these things. You don't have to localize them. But Crimson Desert is an RPG, and when have RPGs ever told you how much an item is sold for and bought for? No, they only show you one value, and you'll usually sell for a lot less at a vendor. Players are used to this, so let's use a single value. The last thing I want to do is populate this center with the character. It doesn't have to be a character model, but maybe the camera zooms in closer and we see the character looking on, kind of like this, though I know that's his back. And there you go, the redesign is done, and now the inventory screen makes a lot better use of space. Yeah, I like the sounds too. The sounds are impactful, powerful. The environmental effects are amazing. So, at Gamescom, I would have shown this entire fight, then finished with a sizzle reel of all the other bosses. Let me show you. And please excuse my crappy editing, I'm not an editor. If you like this video, then click here and watch me nitpick Enzoy, the Sims killer. We need a Sims killer. We've been needing that for a long time. And remember that fun is business.